So, I made a video that I will be releasing after this because I don't want the Angel Reese fans to go absolutely crazy at me because like they already have. But I'm going to be talking about these two players in a way that people kind of haven't. But what I'm going to say is that there is one comparison that has completely not ruined Caitlin Clark's rookie year, but there is a specific comparison that has been made to Caitlin Clark that never really should have been made. And I think it's what killed the early hype around Trae Young as well. And that is the take that Caitlin Clark is the female Steph Curry. Before we get on to this, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 19.5 thousand subscribers by the end of the day. If we could do that, that would be absolutely insane. And if we've already hit it, we're going for 20. We're going for 20k. But we are going to talk about this. So, the reason why I think that has been really harmful to Caitlin Clark is that Caitlin Clark was never Steph Curry level as far as shooting goes. She never was. Like, Caitlin Clark was a damn good three-point shooter. Like, I think, what did she shoot? Like, shot near 40% in college. Whereas Steph Curry, the scariest thing about Steph Curry is that Steph Curry's up at like 45%. He takes the mad shots and he's up at like 45. But at the same time, when we want to talk about their game, like, Caitlin Clark obviously is a good shooter. She still is a good shooter, regardless of 33% from three. Like, we've seen what Sabrina can do in three-point contests. They're shooting an identical percentage. But when we're talking about the female Steph Curry, that player doesn't exist. Because the three-point percentages in general, unless you're Kayla McBride through the first 15 games of the year, they do tend to be lower than in the men's. She has the distance. She can shoot the ball from distance like Steph. But one of the big reasons why she can shoot the ball from so far is because she gets momentum off flinging the ball over her left shoulder like she's a Durant or she's a Lonzo Ball. So it's very hard for her to shoot going right. It is very hard for her to shoot going right. So that is one of the things with Caitlin. And you're seeing the likes of Skip Bayless be able to be like, you know what, she's not that good because she's not shooting well. And this female Steph Curry has been to the detriment of what Caitlin Clark is right now. Because her best asset is not her shooting, it's her passing. And I've said it from like day one. I've said it from when I watched her in in Iowa. I said it, that I'm like, when Caitlin Clark becomes a passer, or when she becomes like I need to do this all and score, her team tends to lose. When she does everything, her team wins. And that was literally what Paige Beckers even said it in 2023 during her game against South Carolina, where she had 40 points, nearly 40-point triple-double. She said it, and it was like, you cannot stop Caitlin Clark scoring and passing. You have to pick one or the other. And we saw from the championship game, when Caitlin Clark had 18 in the first quarter and ran out of gas and wasn't able to find her teammates in a way that she had in especially the LSU game. The LSU game, they allowed her to do both this year. They allowed her to shoot the three. They allowed her to get open, and she hit some crazy stuff over Hailey Van Lith. But it was her passing that was most impressive. It was the cuts that Kate Martin, that Sydney Fulton were making. The runs from Hannah Stuelke. Like, Hannah Stuelke broke Caitlin Clark's individual point record from, like, in a game. That's how good her passing was. And even from day one, the WNBA, that was where, like, you could tell from maybe not even game one, you could tell from about game 3 that Caitlin Clark, when she was shooting the ball a bunch, she was struggling. She was struggling. And then, ironically, as she started shooting less, her team was playing better. She was playing better. She's going to break. Like, she's literally, this is the craziest thing, is that I think this is the only reason, the female Steph Curry comparison is the only reason why Caitlin Clark is on track. She's more than likely going to set the all-time assists record for a season. She's on track to set, like, it's 8.2 assists, and I know she only has like 7.4 on average for the season, but she's been averaging like 10 through her last 5 games. So if, just like when Angel Reese is probably going to break the all-time rebound, Caitlin Clark is probably going to set the all-time assist record while also being top 3 or 4 all-time in rookie scoring. And people are still going to say it's a disappointment because her 3-point shooting is maybe not where people expect it to be, which is the craziest thing. Because they don't play remotely similar. Steph Curry, like, she might play somewhat similar to if you were using Steph Curry as a video game character. Steph Curry is one of the least ball-dominant guards I've ever seen. He's a point guard. Draymond Green was realistically their point guard. He was their person that orchestrated everything. It wasn't Steph Curry. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were two of the best as far as off-ball movement that the WNBA, that the NBA has ever seen. The two of them are the best, like, off-ball moving backcourt in history. And then you have Draymond Green, who's able to pass the ball. You had Jaja Pachulia, who could pass the ball a bit from the center position. Like, you had Livingston there at one stage. So you had, like, guys on the team that were able to pass the ball and orchestrate an offense that weren't Steph or Klay. And that was the biggest thing. Like, she's more Steve Nash than Steph Curry. She's Steve Nash with Dame range. Like, her game is not even close to Steph Curry. It's just everybody calls someone that can shoot from deep the next Steph Curry, the female Steph Curry. When in reality, I'm not going to lie, Dame Lillard is as good at shooting from ultra deep as Steph Curry is. Steph Curry is just the greatest shooter we've ever seen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's the greatest we've ever seen. And the WNBA, the best shooter is Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride's the best catch and shoot player. And if you're looking at shooting off the dribble, then honestly, it's one of Sabrina or Caitlin Clark, because it's not necessarily a from three anyway, because from mid, if you're looking, like, Kennedy Carter's exceptional at it. But from three, there's no, in women's basketball, it's just not really a thing. And Caitlin Clark, again, still hits 1 to 2 shots from 30 every game, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy. And still, the female Steph Curry comparison is being held against her. And just like in the Angel Reese video I'm going to make later today, talking about how it's an absolutely ridiculous thing to say Angel Reese is a clone of A'ja Wilson. I think we're doing Caitlin Clark a disservice, because it doesn't matter what she does. She could average a triple-double, but people saying she's the female Steph Curry are just going to say, oh, well, she's not a good three-point shooter. Because people are actually saying Skip Bayless is right. I'm actually hearing Angel Reese fans quoting Skip Bayless saying, if you're not good at your bread and butter, how are you rookie of the year? And it's like, oh my God, different parts of games translate. Like, Kelsey Plum averaged almost as many points as Caitlin Clark did. Like, Plum averaged almost as many points as Caitlin Clark did, and she just sucked in general as a rookie. She wasn't passing like Clark. She wasn't scoring like Clark. She wasn't rebounding like Clark. She just sucked. Whereas Caitlin Clark, yeah, her scoring hasn't translated. But I would much rather, and this is again a take from these people expecting her to be female Steph Curry that are saying dumb things. They genuinely are saying, well, I think she needs to shoot 25 shots a game. It's like, no. Shoot in and around the 12 to 15 times a game. That's perfect. Keep the defense honest. Hit a couple of shots. Average 15, 16 points a game. But you can average 10 assists doing that. She can average 10 boards doing that because of the way the team plays right now. The team boxes out and lets her get the board almost like a Russell Westbrook. And yeah, I get it. Idiots just like to do what Russell Westbrook will call that stat padding. But no. She is more Steve Nash and Magic Johnson. She's like a mixture between a Magic Johnson and a Steve Nash. Like, that is literally what Caitlin Clark is. She's a mixture between a Magic, a Steve Nash, who can hit the occasional 30-foot shot to keep the crowd engaged. Her play style is so interesting. And she can hit enough shots that you're still going to go out to see her. Caitlin Clark is as good, if not better. And the funny thing is, like, the WNBA people everyone who thought she was going to struggle is watching her play right now, and they're like, oh my God, she's way better than we thought. And then it was just the people that didn't really watch her play, watched a couple of games at Iowa where, in her defense, she absolutely cooked, especially against LSU, and are like, she's the female Steph Curry. But, like, Steph Curry has never dominated the ball like Caitlin Clark dominates the ball. Steph Curry, I know he had the occasional clip where he would dribble, come off screens, dribble, shoot. But, like, that's not how he plays the game of basketball. Everything with him is off-ball movement. That is the biggest thing with Steph Curry. That's why I always hated the Steph and Dame comparisons, because I'm like, Steph does literally everything on the floor better than Dame. So, Yeah, that is pretty much it. I think it does a disservice to Caitlin Clark because it means literally Caitlin Clark could break the assist record, break the rebounding record for a guard, which she's probably going to do. She's probably going to have the most rebounds for a guard ever in a season. She's probably going to have the most assists ever in a season. And be top 5 at worst in rookie points for a season. Be top 5 at worst. And because she's just not shooting the 3 ball at a high enough percentage, because people think of her as the female Steph Curry, her season's going to be a disappointment. When the reality is, she might, when it's all said and done, have one of the 3 or 4 best rookie seasons of all time.